I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your home workstation when you're learning how to tattoo. No bullshit, no dawdling about, messing, just practical stuff that you can apply straight away when you're following the online courses. So straight away, we need something to actually rest on. I use the armrest just because you can change the angle and obviously make it a little bit more realistic when we're tattooing flat mats. So the armrest. Somewhere to actually set up your station. Obviously I use a little station so I can move it about. You can use a table if you're at home, or if you've got a desk, anything with a solid surface. First thing that we need to do is wrap everything. Yes, we're not tattooing people, but it's just good practice to get into the habit of wrapping everything. Cross-contamination, once you're actually in the studio, whether you're working in somebody else's or open your own, we need to be wrapping everything up. So I always just give everything a little squirt, and it just helps it stick. So any surface that we're going to be, either the customer, or in our case, the mat, is touching, then it needs to be covered and protected. So I just buy this stuff. A lot of people just use cling film. I just use this wrap, studio wrap, dirt cheap, and it's just looks a bit better. So that's the first one done. I always just pull it nice and tight, try and get rid of all the bubbles, and then that way, once liquid dries, it almost sticks it to the surface. If not, you can just get some tape and just tape edges on just to stop it lifting up. Super simple, super quick. No messing about. There's no reason that setting up your workstation should be taking an hour, 2 hours, a super quick job. So we've already sprayed this, same again. Whoop. You find as well, for the first few years, getting used to cling film, it seems to stick to everything. It almost seems impossible to like manage with your hands, but I promise you, you do get used to it. So we've got wrap on everything now. That's where we're gonna set everything up. This is where we're gonna be tattooing. So there's tattoo mat there. Next thing we need is some ointment. I always use Yayo, my favorite brand. So that's his ointment done. Notice I don't have everything out. I'm gonna go over that in just a minute. Next, we're gonna need some ink pots, little bob of ointment on bottom. Stops them flying all over the fucking place if you hit it. Next up, obviously, tattoo machine. Any needles that we're gonna be using, get them laid out ready. Where have I put my fucking rinse cup? Where did I put that thing? Oh, found it. Rinse cup, last but not least. Something to wipe your mats with. And then, finally, ink. So this is actually very, very similar to how I would have things pre-set up if instead of this mat, it were actually a human. I'd have the armrest all wrapped. I'd have my workstation all wrapped. I'd have my machine all wrapped, which we've got on a different video. The ink I would pour when the customer's there. The needle I'd get out when the customer's there. Put your water in last. But this, let me get my chair. Oh. See, it even feels good. Just a word of advice, we're gonna pour his inks out, obviously to do his tattoo on the mats. Then everything gets put away. There's nothing out, because in real life, we've got his gloves on. This is jumping the gun just a little bit, but I wanna just quickly touch on it in this video, just to make you aware of it, because at the back end of the course, we're going to be touching on this again, but obviously setting it up as if we were tattooing a real person. But we've poured his inks, the ink's there, right? Airborne, diseases, blood, anything can be landing on surfaces. That's one of the reasons why we wrap everything. We're wiping the customer, we're doing the tattoo, blood's all on his hands, ink's on his hands, ointment's on his hands. We're running out of ink. We then, with his mucky gloves, grab this ink bottle to top his ink up. Fucking big no. Set all your inks out, pour them, put the inks away. Not in sight, you can't grab them, nothing. Out of the way. If then you need more ink, the mucky gloves come off. they stay within this danger zone, this red area, which we like to call it. Don't worry, I'll explain all this to you. They then go in the waste bag that gets collected. Bush, they're gone. You would then put fresh gloves on, get your ink, come back into the red area, top your ink up. But don't worry about that just yet, because we'll cover all that. The main thing is, we're just doing things early on to create good habits. So just to go through it, it's in like a quick checklist. You need something to be fucking sat on, yeah? Something comfortable, something that's height adjustable. Ideally, we want his legs to be at 90 degrees, all right? That's what they recommend is the best support and the best posture. We're gonna be bent over quite a lot of times, so make sure that we're sat whenever we can be in a good position. I recommend getting a big armrest to tattoo off rather than a table. Again, it's just to make it that little bit more realistic. I've got a video that goes through multiple ways of making these flat mats more realistic, so make sure you check that out. But with wrappers mat, yep. With wrappers armrest, again, just for sterile reasons, to get into good practice. Obviously with tattooing mats, there's no blood anywhere. We don't need to do this in essence, but it's just to get you into good habits. We need something to work off. Obviously I've got this stand. You could just have a desk, a table, whatever it may be. We wrap it up again. Then we've got something to clean the mats, something to hold as ink. We're not gonna fucking just pour ink onto the table. Get your ink cups out. We need some ointment, a rinse cup as machine, and needles, whatever needles that you're going to be using. Do we need more than this really? No, there's not a great deal to remember, is there? It's super simple. Enjoy getting your station set up, and I'll see you in the lessons.